So Gerwyn Price has threatened to never return to the PDC World Championship again after his recent 5-1 defeat to Gabriel Clemens, where the Iceman unsuccessfully donned a pair of ear defenders midway through the contest, which set tongues wagging around the darting world. But is he serious with these comments? Could the Welshman actually end up leaving darts altogether? And do the PDC now need to step in and intervene on the wider issue of crowd behaviour? Hello, welcome to Doubles and Trebles. It's Pieman here, and today I'm here to give you my thoughts and reaction to the recent Gerwyn Price controversy, where he pulled out a snazzy pair of ear defenders during his New Year's Day loss to Gabriel Clemens at Ali Pali, subsequently threatening not to play in the sporting showpiece going forward after his defeat. So for those who missed the game, Clemens was 3-1 up in set at the time on the 2021 champion, before Price emerged from the mid-game break, donning some rather eye-catching headwear, and that image obviously went viral around the world on social media very quickly. I actually burst out laughing when I saw him come on originally. I thought it was genius, but it was the latest twist in a long-running saga between the Iceman and PDC crowds, with Price gesturing to those in attendance, sort of cupping his ears to suggest that he could no longer hear the torrents of abuse being aimed in his direction. But all in all, it did very little to help. He went on to lose that set and the sixth set to lose 5-1, and he ditched the headwear after just one set, so it didn't really have the desired effect. Price took to his Instagram after the match with a statement that read, "So frustrating. You play all year round preparing for this one tournament. So gutted I wasn't let play, but good luck to everyone left in. Not sure I will ever play in this event again." The last line, of course, being the major story here. Now, it should be said that Price has gone on to delete not only that Instagram post, but everything on his Instagram page. And he is prone to sort of airing his thoughts after games on social media. We saw it last year when he went out to Michael Smith, an emotional Price posting afterwards saying he was devastated. And that was another game where the crowd had an impact. But where do we start with this? Well, as most viewers will no doubt know, the issue of Price versus the crowd is a long-running affair, and it kind of dates back to his breakthrough years. I suppose the most notable moment that everyone would think of would be the infamous 2018 Grand Slam of Darts final against Gary Anderson. It was his first major victory, but he fell out with the Flying Scotsman and the Wolverhampton crowd after some questionable behaviour on the hockey, which would earn him a fine, along with some infamous, now infamous, shouting and cheering. He wasn't the first man to irk Gary Anderson, it should be said. But in fairness, he has also bothered plenty of other PDC professionals over the years. He's squared up to Daryl Gurney. He's had kickoffs with Adrian Lewis. Peter Wright's had a few words to say about it in the years gone by. So he is an exuberant character who rubs people up the wrong way. But providing he doesn't cross the line with his behaviour, and admittedly he did against Gary Anderson, but providing he doesn't cross the line, which generally he doesn't, I think that is exactly the kind of character that the sport desperately needs. Now, there is little wrong with the crowd booing and giving a bit of stick to a player they don't like. After all, they are paying customers, and that money that they bring in has made the game what it is today. But I do think there's a strong feeling now among the more hardcore darts fans that the PDC have failed to keep a lid on what is deemed appropriate crowd behaviour in recent years, and Price has taken the sizable brunt of that bad treatment. Things like whistling on key doubles or sort of xenophobic chants and vicious vitriol have all been aimed in his direction on a regular basis for the last few years, more than ever at Ali Pali. He lost, as I mentioned, he lost that semi-final to Michael Smith a couple of years ago with crowd members very clearly whistling as he was throwing for key doubles. And it clearly irked Price. And then again, what we've seen this year with the defenders and Clemens, it's another incident at Ali Pali. So is the treatment that Gerwyn Price receives fair? Well, personally, I think the abuse he receives has gone too far in the last couple of years, especially. Stick is fine. In fact, I think it probably drives him on. Let's be honest, Price kind of invites it on himself to a point. But when the crowds are actively playing a part in the result of games with things like whistling or chants that cross the line, it's simply gone too far for my money. For me, there is a huge elephant in the room here, and nobody in professional darts is talking about it, and it is Ali Pali. Now, no one's going to talk about it within the PDC because the world is the cash cow that just keeps on going, keeps on giving, pushing the sport forward, similar to the Premier League. Of course, it is great that darts now reaches a global audience and that people who have no interest or no knowledge of the sport still feel compelled to head down to the World Championships every December and see what's going on. However, it's been proven time and time again that the demographic of those in attendance is becoming less and less interested about what's actually happening on the hockey and more bothered about how drunk they can get and what they could chant. I mean, look, I like a drink, as many people will know, and I like to enjoy myself. And I go to Ali Pali virtually every year because it's quite local for me being in Kent. However, I really can't get behind a lot of the same old boring chants, tables, boring tables, ya colo ture, and some of the behaviour that goes on in their aim towards the players on the stage and the general lack of interest in the games really bothers me. And I think Ali Pali is far and away the worst venue of the year when it comes to watching live darts. Admittedly, this is a very difficult issue for the PDC to address because it's almost gone too far now. There's groups of workers in London who are plotting their annual trip to the darts for a team building exercise, getting hammered and spending hundreds in the process. So turning them away is difficult and somewhat illogical. So my solution would be, why not try holding next year's World Championship abroad? Of course, this isn't going to happen because tickets are already on sale for Ali Pali. But if they really wanted to test the logic that the Ali Pali crowd have become an anti-darts crowd, move it abroad. We've seen the success of the European tour. Germany and the Netherlands in particular are huge darts hotspots, and I'm sure they would absolutely jump at the chance to host the Darts World Championship. Now, I can assure you, if you hosted in the Netherlands or Germany, that every single session would sell out, which is something we can't say for Ali Pali. I mean, we're told that these first round games sell out, but I often see empty seats at the back of the first few sessions. Understandable, but I guarantee you in Germany or the Netherlands, they would sell out. And I have a strong inclination that the general crowd behaviour would be, one, a lot more respectful, but two, also a lot more interested in what's actually going on the stage. Now, I think the Premier League crowds have every right to be uninterested in the matches, just there for a good night. The Premier League is effectively an exhibition, but the World Championship for me is the pinnacle of the sport, and it should be a crowd of enthusiastic darts fans who really appreciate what's going on in that stage. Give the players the respect they deserve at the key moments. Yes, enjoy themselves. Yes, have a drink, and yes, still make a great atmosphere, but do it in a way that respects the World Championship for what it is. Gerwyn Price, there's no doubt he brings problems upon himself, and he's always going to be that way. But I think anyone in darts that has actually taken the time to listen to Gerwyn Price speak on a podcast or an interview will appreciate that he is just a decent, normal family guy who has a little bit of a brash and bold persona on the stage, but off it, he's just trying to make money for his kids, and he does not deserve to have these games ruined by thoughtless idiots. So I am very much on Gerwyn Price's side on this one. For what it's worth, I don't think that the crowd actually impacted his loss to Gabriel Clemens. I thought he was just outplayed on the night. And I personally think that the statement he made about not playing in the World Championships again was probably just heat of the moment. However, if the game was to lose Gerwyn Price at the World Championship or overall, it would be an absolute disaster for darts. Let me tell you, when I talk about darts with people who don't really follow the sport, one name that always comes up, not MVG, not Peter Wright, Gerwyn Price. Everyone's got an opinion on him, like him or love him, and every niche sport needs characters like that. So I think the PDC would be well advised to work with Gerwyn Price on some kind of solution, or at least bring in some kind of positive steps when it comes to eradicating the behaviour that really crosses the line at the World Championships. Anyway, let me know what you think about this topic. It's a very interesting, divisive topic, I know. So, do you think Gerwyn Price gets bad treatment? And do you think the PDC need to make changes to the Ali Pali experience, the crowd behaviour in general, or just the darting schedule and calendar? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching Doubles and Trebles, and we'll see you again very soon. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already too.